Hey everybody, this is Jake Weiss with the Eagle. We're back here at High School Media Days. I'm here with Rudder head coach Eric Ezar. Coach, how you doing?
Man, doing great. It's a good time of year. Getting ready to roll.
Yeah, I was going to say this is kind of the unofficial kickoff for the season, so I know I'm pumped. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess just first off, Coach, kind of looking back at last year,
Right.
kind of a disappointing season for you guys. But how do you kind of guys, I guess, kind of build off this? What are you kind of hoping to see the guys to kind of get back to where you guys have been in the past?
Well, it's kind of funny. That's our theme for this year is get back. We had a lot of – you played with 17 sophomores, 2 freshmen, really young. We had a lot of guys graduate from our first playoff team in school history. As we're going, we feel like we're going to have a good team. We have a really tough district. And so, we talked to kids today about, we're going to have ups and downs. It's got to be one play at a time, and it's got to be one game at a time. And so, we can't get too high, can't get too low. We realize that we're probably playing one of the toughest districts in 5A Division II in the state this year. And we know we can beat anybody, but we can get beat by anybody. And so, it's just try to fight to get in the playoffs, kind of like what basketball did this year, and then, win a playoff game, win another playoff game. And that's kind of what we're thinking.
Talked to a lot of the defensive guys. They said, hey, a really big focus this offseason was about the tackling. And I know we talked in the spring. You said it's the best tackling you've seen from these guys in a while. I guess just where's the kind of a defense at right now in the offseason? What have you kind of seen from them?
Well, we had a skill day today, and the defense got after us pretty good today. So I'm excited about it. In the spring, they tackle better than we've ever seen them tackle. When you're young, you got a 14-year-old trying to tackle an 18-year-old. They don't tackle very well. But, we're a little bit older, so, that's getting better. They got great experience. And I think the whole secret is offensively, we've been pretty good the last few years. The playoff year that we had, our defense was dominant, and that was the difference. And so, last year, offensively we weren't great, defensively we weren't great. But, we're hoping that the defense getting better is going to really kind of maybe get us to get back to the playoffs.
Any guys so far stood out to you on the defense? Who's kind of been maybe leading that group?
Well, the first thing that kind of pops into my mind is really 2 guys. But, Trey Samola is one of those kids that's kind of a program guy that, you really can't be more proud of a kid who, when he kind of walked in as a freshman, he was kind of scrawny, not very strong, but has really bought into our program, has worked his tail off. Went to state powerlifting. We think he can have a big year this year. And then Ryan Campbell's kind of the leader of the secondary. He'll be a 3-year starter, and we feel like he can do some great things in the secondary. He kind of finds ways to get his hand on the ball. Probably one of our smartest football guys we have.
We'll kind of switch gears a little bit, talk about the offense. I know, kind of a lot of news. Going to have some new receivers there. I know Kevin and Nate are gone. Who have you kind of seen at the receiver position kind of fill in? And I know you got Jaquise, obviously, but who have you kind of seen maybe fill in the roles that Nate and Kevin had?
Well, we kind of come back to, Malik Dunn. And Malik Dunn was a really good receiver last year. He kind of got overshadowed by Kevin and Nate just because, they were the ones who, were 6'5" and on the outside. But, now some of those balls are going to go to Malik Dunn. And so we think he can have a great season. Jaden Erskine's a really tough kid who kind of makes those little short catches and make things going. Caden Holmes has been really impressive. And so we have the Cook twins who I think, they're going to be Brandon had a really nice sophomore year, had 5 touchdowns. Randon had a great spring game. So, depending on where we put Jaquise at certain times, Jaquise is going to play some inside receiver. Jaquise will play some quarterback, and that gives Randon an opportunity at that A-back position. But, also we got a kid named A.J. Morrison who could be the big surprise. He's going to be a sophomore this year, and he's looked really well.
I talked to some of the guys about kind of the new quarterback as well, Cody Billings. I know we got to see a little bit of him at State 7-on-7. What have you kind of seen from him, and what have you kind of liked about him so far through the spring and kind of heading into the season?
Well, I think Cody's done a really good job. Cody gives us that ability, when he's on, to get to spread the ball around a little bit, and get the ball to Jaquise in different places. But, we know that people are going to try to take Jaquise away, and that's going to open up your Brandon Cooks, your Randon Cooks, your Malik Dunns, and those guys, giving them an opportunity. Bruce Hendricks is our running back, and we think he's gonna really shine. He was our JV running back last year, but he's worked really hard in the offseason.
Got to ask about the new offensive coordinator. Is you don't have to reveal all of the secrets, but is the offense maybe going to look a little different with the new offensive coordinator?
Well, I think Terrence gives us that ability to really work with the kids. Played football at LSU. It gives us that workers mentality. If you want to go play pro football, you need to listen to Coach Tolliver because he's been there. He knows how to do it. He brings some new ideas offensively. that we're definitely looking at, and I don't want to give too much away, but where we can tweak some stuff.
I got you. Really, just kind of a last one, but looking at the schedule for the upcoming season, you mentioned the district, how tough it is, but any games that you've got circled, any games that you're really going to try to get the guys fired up for, any games in particular you're excited about?
Well, I mean, I think that you got to look at your first district game against Lamar. I mean, and it's with such a tough district, you got to go 1-0. And you got to go 2-0 and 3-0. And, we may have some setbacks in district, but, I mean, I think the big thing that we have to learn from is if you have a setback, they can't hurt you the next week. We just got to turn the page, get to the next week, because, you got to win 3 to 4 games to get in the playoffs in this district. And they could come from anybody at any time. And I really think we can beat anybody in the district, but I think anybody can beat us if we don't get ready to play. And so, I mean, I would say from top to bottom, it's the bet. There's no gimmies in there at all. And every time you play, you're going to have to give your best game or you won't win.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Coach.
All right, no problem.